There's a quiet truth the universe has been whispering for thousands of years, and it's hidden in Zen stories. In the next hour, you won't hear vague advice or easy slogans. You'll hear timeless parables and deep Buddhist teachings designed to soften control, release resistance, and help you trust the flow of life exactly as it is. If you've been questioning your path, if uncertainty feels heavy, or if surrender seems impossible, this is exactly where you need to be. So, before we begin, take a moment to like the video, but only if this space brings you peace. And let me know in the comments where you're listening from and what time it is for you. I love seeing how these moments of trust find people all over the world. Now, dim the lights. Lie down in the most comfortable position your body knows. Let your breath begin to slow, and together, let's step into the current of the universe and allow it to carry us. Chapter 1. The Farmer's Luck. They called him the luckiest man in the village. Then they called him the unluckiest, and then they couldn't decide anymore. The farmer lived a quiet life on the edge of the fields, where the horizon was wide and the days were marked by the rhythm of planting and harvest. One day, his only horse, a strong, beautiful creature, broke free from its rope and ran into the hills. The neighbours came to his home, shaking their heads. "What terrible luck," they said. "Now your fields will be harder to tend." The farmer simply nodded and replied, "Maybe." Days later, the horse returned, but it didn't come alone. Following behind were 3 wild horses from the hills. The neighbours returned, this time smiling and clapping him on the back. "What amazing luck," they said. "Now you have 4 horses." The farmer again nodded and said, "Maybe." A week later, while training one of the new horses, the farmer's son was thrown from the saddle and broke his leg. The neighbours gathered in his yard. "What terrible luck," they whispered. "Now your son cannot work the fields for months." The farmer said softly, "Maybe." Soon after, soldiers came to the village, taking every young man to fight in a distant war. When they saw the farmer's son with his broken leg, they left him behind. The neighbours came once more. "What wonderful luck," they said. The farmer smiled gently. "Maybe." Reflection. In Zen, trusting the universe often begins with letting go of labels. We call things good or bad based on the moment we see them, but life is not a single moment. It is a vast unfolding, and what looks like misfortune may turn out to be a gift. When you trust the universe, you understand that you don't see the whole picture. You don't need to. Your role is not to control every outcome, but to meet each moment with openness, as the farmer did. When life gives you something unexpected, instead of rushing to name it as good or bad, try simply saying, "Maybe." That single word is an opening, a doorway into trust. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. Imagine you are standing in a wide field. The air is cool. The sky above you is endless. You watch a horse in the distance, its mane catching the sunlight, its steps steady and free. You don't run after it. You don't tie it down. You simply watch, knowing that whatever comes or goes in your life, you can remain still inside. Breathe deeply now. Feel the ground beneath your feet, solid, supportive, unshaken, and let the words settle into you. Maybe. Let life unfold. I trust the universe to weave the story. Chapter 2. The Empty Boat. On a quiet morning, mist drifted across the surface of a wide river. A Zen master sat in his small boat, letting the current carry him. He wasn't going anywhere in particular, just floating, feeling the water's movement beneath the wooden boards. The air was still. The only sounds were the slow lap of water against the hull and the distant call of a heron. Then, a sudden thud. Another boat had collided with his. The master opened his eyes, startled, and saw it drifting alongside him. It was empty. No oars, no passenger, no one to explain the bump. And so, he kept drifting, letting it pass. Later that day, the master spoke to his students. If someone insults you and you think they are the cause of your anger, you are mistaken. When an empty boat bumps into you, you do not get angry. You simply move on. Most people are empty boats, carrying the winds of their own suffering. Why take it personally? Reflection. Trusting the universe isn't only about trusting events to unfold, it's also about not letting the actions of others disturb your stillness. When we assume everything that happens to us is about us, we take on unnecessary pain. That stranger who cut you off in traffic, they might be lost in thought, carrying grief you'll never see. That friend who didn't call back, they might be fighting battles you can't imagine. When you see people as empty boats, not empty in worth, but empty of deliberate harm, you release the burden of interpreting their every move as an attack. The river flows either way. You can either keep paddling in circles of resentment or let the current carry you forward. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. Imagine a slow, wide river under a morning sky. You're sitting in a small boat, feeling it rock gently with each wave. Far ahead, you see another boat drifting toward you. It touches yours a soft bump, and then it floats away. No harm, no reason to hold on to the moment. Feel your body loosen as you breathe in and out. Whisper to yourself, not everything is about me. I release what is not mine. The river will carry me where I need to go. Let the current take you. Chapter 3. 2 Monks and the Woman. 2 monks were travelling together along a muddy road after a heavy rain. One was older, his robe worn smooth with years of practice. The other was young, freshly initiated, his steps still uncertain in the way of the world. As they walked, they came upon a woman standing at the edge of a large puddle. She wore a silk kimono, its hem already wet with the rising mud. Her eyes darted between the puddle and the far bank, frustration growing with each passing moment. Without a word, the older monk stepped forward, lifted her in his arms, and carried her across. He set her down gently on dry ground. The woman bowed quickly and walked away. The 2 monks continued in silence. Hours passed. Finally, the young monk blurted out, "Master, we took vows never to touch a woman. Why did you carry her?" The older monk smiled softly. "I put her down hours ago," he said. "Why are you still carrying her?" Reflection. Trusting the universe is impossible if your hands are full of the past. We carry conversations, grudges, and imagined wrongs long after the moment has ended. We replay scenes in our minds, holding on to a story that only weighs us down. The older monk had already let the act go. There was no burden left in his heart. The younger monk carried it in his mind for miles. When you let go, you make space for the present. When you release the weight of what's already over, you open your hands to receive what's next. The universe cannot fill what is already clenched tight. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. Imagine walking down a quiet path after rain. Each step you take, you feel the soft give of the earth beneath your feet. On your back, you carry a heavy pack inside it. Every memory, every argument, every worry you've been holding on to. Now, stop. Take off the pack. Set it down beside the path. Feel your shoulders lighten. Feel the cool air touch the skin at the back of your neck. Breathe in deeply and whisper to yourself, "I put it down. I trust the universe to hold what I no longer need. I walk forward with empty hands and an open heart." Begin again. Chapter 4. The Obedient Zen Master. There was once a Zen master whose serenity was so unshakable that even the storms of life seemed to bow before him. One afternoon, as he swept the temple courtyard, a group of villagers arrived, faces tense with urgency. "Master," they said, "the magistrate accuses you of fathering a child with a young woman in the town. What do you have to say for yourself?" The master paused. He placed the broom gently against the wall, and he said only 2 words. "Is that so?" The magistrate arrived days later, holding a small bundle of the newborn child. "The mother insists this is your responsibility," he declared. "You will raise the baby. The master took the infant in his arms without protest. He fed the child, clothed it, and cared for it as his own. Months passed before the young woman, burdened by guilt, confessed that the master had nothing to do with the child. It belonged to a man from a neighbouring village. The magistrate returned, bowing low, and offered to take the baby back. The master handed the child over gently and said once more, "Is that so?" Reflection. Trusting the universe often means surrendering the need to defend yourself in every moment. It doesn't mean becoming passive or weak. It means choosing peace over endless resistance. The master could have fought the accusation. He could have argued, shouted, tried to clear his name. Instead, he trusted that truth has its own current, and that it would carry him where it needed to. When you meet life with, "Is that so?" you stop thrashing against the flow. You conserve your energy for what actually matters. Sometimes the universe asks you not to fix everything, but to stand still and let clarity arrive in its own time. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. See yourself standing beside a calm river. Someone hands you a heavy stone, a misunderstanding, a judgment, a false story about you. Instead of throwing it or clutching it, you simply place it on the ground. You watch the river. You listen to the quiet hum of the water's movement. The stone stays where it is. It no longer weighs you down. Breathe in, breathe out, and whisper, "I do not need to fight every wave. The truth moves on its own. I trust the universe to bring clarity in time." Let the water keep flowing. Chapter 5. The Master and the River. A young monk once came to his master, his face tight with frustration. "Master," he said, "I am trying so hard to live with peace, but life keeps throwing obstacles in my way. People misunderstand me. My plans fall apart. I can't seem to make things flow as I want them to." The master said nothing. He simply gestured for the young monk to follow him. They walked through the forest until they reached a wide river, its surface glimmering in the afternoon sun. The water moved steadily, never stopping, never hesitating. The master pointed to it and asked, "Do you see how the river moves?" "Yes," said the monk. "Does it argue with the rocks in its path?" the master asked. The monk shook his head. "No, it flows around them." "Does it stop when branches fall into it?" "No, it carries them along." The master turned to his student. "This is how life is meant to be lived. Flow around the obstacles. Carry what you must. Let go of what is not yours to keep. Trust the current." Reflection. Trusting the universe is like becoming the river. The rocks are not enemies. The fallen branches are not failures. They are simply part of the journey. When you resist every obstacle, you become stuck, swirling in the same place. When you accept them as part of the path, you move forward, maybe not as you imagined, but always as you are meant to. The river doesn't control its direction. It trusts gravity, the shape of the earth, the pull toward the sea. In the same way, you can trust the unseen forces guiding you toward your own ocean. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. Imagine standing at the edge of a wide, calm river. The air is cool and fresh. The sound of flowing water is steady, like the heartbeat of the earth. Now, step in. Feel the water around your ankles, then your knees. It holds you without effort. You begin to float, carried by the current. You pass by rocks. The water simply moves around them. You pass by branches. The current carries them alongside you. No resistance, no struggle. Breathe deeply and whisper, "I am the river. I flow around obstacles. The current of life carries me exactly where I need to go." Let yourself drift. Chapter 6. The moon cannot be stolen. Long ago, in the mountains of Japan, there lived a Zen master known for his simple life. His home was a small hut made of wood and straw, with nothing inside but a mat to sleep on, a low table, and a teapot. One evening, as the master returned from visiting a nearby village, he found his hut's door ajar. Inside, a thief was rummaging through the few belongings he owned. The master stood quietly in the doorway and said, "You have come a long way to visit me. You should not leave empty-handed." He walked over to the shelf, took his one robe, the only one he owned, and handed it to the thief. The man stared, speechless, before hurrying into the night. The master stepped outside, looking up at the clear night sky. The moon hung bright and full above the mountains. "Poor fellow," the master whispered to himself. "If only I could give him the moon." Reflection. Trusting the universe means knowing that what is truly yours can never be taken. The thief could take the master's robe, but he could not take his peace. He could not take the stillness in his mind or the moon in the sky. When you hold life lightly, loss loses its power over you. Objects, status, recognition, these are temporary visitors. Peace is a resident of the heart. If you can see the moon even when your hands are empty, you will understand the freedom the master felt. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. Imagine standing outside on a clear night. The air is cool, the kind that makes you pull your blanket a little closer. Above you, the moon glows steady, silver, unshaken. In your hands, imagine everything you think you cannot live without. Now, gently open your fingers and let them fall away like leaves in the wind. The moon remains. The sky remains. Your breath remains. Breathe in, breathe out, whisper to yourself, "What is mine cannot be taken. What leaves was never mine to hold forever. I trust the universe to let me keep what truly belongs to me." Stay with the moon a little longer. Chapter 7. A Cup of Tea. A university professor once visited a Zen master, eager to learn about enlightenment. The professor was well read, his mind filled with theories, philosophies, and arguments. As soon as he arrived, he began talking, explaining what he already knew, quoting scriptures, comparing Zen to other schools of thought. The master listened quietly. After a while, he invited the professor to have tea. He set a small cup on the table and began pouring. The cup filled, then overflowed, and still the master kept pouring. The tea spilled over the sides, pooling on the table and dripping to the floor. "Stop! The cup is full!" the professor cried. The master set the teapot down and looked at him calmly. "Like this cup," he said, "you are full of your own opinions. How can I show you the truth unless you first empty your cup?" Reflection. Trusting the universe is not about adding more knowledge. It's about creating space. If your mind is crowded with judgments, expectations, and old beliefs, there's no room for new understanding. Emptying your cup means letting go of the need to always know, always be right, always have the answer. It means becoming a beginner again, open, curious, willing to see. When you trust the universe, you make space for it to surprise you. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. Imagine holding a small, warm cup of tea in your hands. The steam rises slowly, carrying a calming scent into the cool air. Now see the cup begin to overflow, tea spilling over the sides. In your mind, each drop that overflows is an old belief you no longer need. One drop for fear, one drop for control, one drop for doubt. The cup grows lighter. You feel your hands relax. You take a slow sip. The taste is clear, simple, pure. Breathe in, breathe out, whisper to yourself, "I empty my cup. I make space for life to fill me. I trust the universe to pour what I truly need." Let the steam curl into the air as you rest in stillness. Chapter 8. The Stone Cutter. There was once a stone cutter who lived in a small mountain village. Every day, he worked hard in the hot sun, shaping blocks of stone for temples and houses. His hands were rough, his back bent from years of labour. One afternoon, as he passed the home of a wealthy merchant, he paused. Inside, he saw fine furniture, silk clothing, and tables filled with food. The stonecutter thought to himself, how powerful it must be to live like that. And in that moment, he wished, with all his heart, to be the merchant. To his surprise, his wish came true. Suddenly, he was surrounded by wealth, dressed in silk, and served by others. But soon, he saw the governor pass by, carried high in a palanquin. The people bowed low before him. "Surely the governor is more powerful than I," thought the stonecutter. And again, his wish came true. He enjoyed his new power until one hot day he looked up and saw the sun blazing in the sky. The sun is greater than any governor, he thought. And so he became the sun. He shone fiercely upon the world, until a cloud drifted by and blocked his light. The cloud is stronger than the sun, he thought, and he became the cloud. He moved freely across the sky until he felt himself pushed by the wind. The wind is more powerful than I, he thought, and he became the wind. He rushed over mountains and valleys until he struck a solid wall of rock. No matter how he tried, he could not move the mountain. The mountain is greater than the wind, he thought, and so he became the mountain. But one day he felt a sharp pain deep within. He looked down to see a stonecutter chipping away at his base. Reflection. Trusting the universe means accepting the role you've been given in this moment. When you constantly wish to be something else, you chase illusions of power and control. The stonecutter's journey showed him that he already was what he needed to be. He simply hadn't seen it. Life shapes you as you shape the stone. You may wish for a different form, but the universe has already carved a place for you that fits perfectly in the great design. When you trust where you are, you discover you already hold the strength you've been seeking. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. Imagine standing at the base of a great mountain. The air is cool and still. You run your fingers along the stone solid, ancient, unmoving. Now, see yourself as the mountain, steady, unshaken by wind or storm, yet at your feet a humble stonecutter works, shaping pieces of you into something new. You do not resist, you trust the process. You know that nothing taken from you is truly lost, it becomes part of something else. Breathe in, breathe out, whisper to yourself, I am where I am meant to be. I trust the shape life is carving for me. The universe makes no mistakes. Remain in the mountain's stillness. Chapter 9. Impermanence, Anicca. In the heart of Buddhist teaching lies a truth so simple that we often overlook it. Everything changes. Every cloud you see drifts apart. Every wave you watch fades back into the sea. Every breath you take dissolves into the air. Impermanence. Anicca is not a flaw in the universe. It is the way the universe keeps flowing. We often cling to moments, trying to hold them still. We grip happiness, hoping it will never end. We resist sadness, wishing it would disappear. But life is a river, and rivers do not freeze for us. When we forget impermanence, we suffer. When we remember it, we breathe easier. If joy is here, we can enjoy it without fear, knowing it will naturally change. If pain is here, we can bear it with patience, knowing it too will pass. The seasons of life are not ours to control, but they are ours to witness. Reflection. Trusting the universe means letting go of the need for permanence. When you know everything is temporary, you stop resisting change. You see endings not as failures, but as transitions. The flower in your hand will wither, but another will bloom in its place. The sunset you love will fade, but another dawn will come. And so, trusting the universe is trusting that each ending carries within it the seed of a beginning. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. Imagine sitting on a grassy hill as the day turns to evening. The sun is warm on your face. Slowly, it lowers toward the horizon, painting the sky in gold, pink, and violet. You watch, without rushing it to stay. You do not plead for the colours to hold. You simply witness, knowing the night will come, and morning after that. Breathe in the warmth. Breathe out into the cool air of the coming night. Whisper to yourself, everything changes. I welcome the coming and the going. I trust the universe to bring each season in its time. Let the sun set in peace. Chapter 10. Non-attachment. In a quiet monastery, a monk once asked his teacher, "Master, how do I find peace?" The teacher held out a cup filled with water. "Grip it tightly," he instructed. The monk wrapped his fingers around the cup. Water spilled over the sides. His knuckles whitened. The cup grew heavy in his hand. "Now," the master said, "hold it lightly." The monk loosened his grip. The cup rested easily in his palm. No water spilled, no strain. "This," said the master, "is how you hold life." Non-attachment in Buddhism doesn't mean detaching from people or feelings. It means loosening your grip so that you can experience them fully without fear of loss. When we cling, we create suffering. We hold on to relationships, possessions, ideas, and even identities as if they define us completely. And when change comes, as it always does, our grip turns into pain. When we practice non-attachment, we don't stop loving. We love more freely, without trying to trap joy in a cage. We trust the universe enough to open our hands, knowing that what is meant to stay will stay, and what must go will go. Reflection. Trusting the universe through non-attachment is an act of courage. It says, "I am not in control of all outcomes, and I am at peace with that." It says, "I will show up fully, give my whole heart, and still allow life to move as it needs to." It is the courage to let life breathe through you, rather than trying to hold your breath forever. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. Imagine you are standing in a meadow. In your hands, you hold a small bird. Its feathers are warm against your skin. You can feel its tiny heartbeat. Now, open your hands. The bird stays for a moment, then flies into the open sky. You watch it go, trusting it will find its own way. The air feels lighter in your palms. Your heart feels open, not empty. Breathe in, breathe out. Whisper to yourself, "I hold life lightly. I love without clinging. I trust the universe to return to me what is truly mine." Watch the bird until it disappears into the horizon. Chapter 11. Karma, trusting cause and effect. In a small village, there lived a farmer who planted seeds with great care. Every morning, he would walk through his fields, checking each row, pulling weeds, and making sure every plant had enough water. But his neighbor laughed at him. "Why waste so much time?" the neighbor said. "The weather will do what it wants. The soil will decide if the seeds grow or not. Just leave them." The farmer only smiled and kept tending his crops. Months later, the rains came at the perfect time. The farmer's fields bloomed with grain, while the neighbor's land lay dry and empty. The farmer said nothing. He simply harvested what he had sown. In Buddhism, karma is often misunderstood. It is not instant punishment or reward. It is the natural unfolding of cause and effect. When you plant seeds of kindness, patience, and truth, the harvest may not come tomorrow, but it will come. When you sow dishonesty, cruelty, or neglect, those seeds too will grow, whether you notice them or not. Karma teaches us to trust that the universe keeps its own quiet balance. We don't need to see the outcome immediately to know it exists. Reflection. Trusting karma is trusting time. It is knowing that not every result appears on your schedule. It frees you from the urge to control the entire garden of life. When you trust cause and effect, you focus on planting the right seeds, and you release the need to dig them up every day to see if they've sprouted. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. Imagine a field beneath a wide, open sky. You kneel down and press small seeds into the soil. Each one carries an intention, patience, kindness, truth. You cover them gently and stand. Rain falls softly, soaking into the earth. The sun warms the ground. Days pass. Weeks pass. You see green shoots emerge, growing taller with each breath of wind. You don't pull them. You don't rush them. You simply trust. Breathe in, breathe out. Whisper to yourself, "I plant good seeds. I trust the universe to bring the right harvest in time. I let cause and effect work without my interference. Stand in the quiet field and let the wind carry your trust forward. Chapter 12. Emptiness. Shunyata. In the early morning, before the sun rose over the mountains, a monk sat by a still pond. The water reflected the faint silver of the sky. In that quiet, the monk dropped a single pebble into the pond. Ripples spread outward, touching every part of the water's surface. The monk smiled, because in that simple movement, he saw shunyata emptiness. In Buddhism, emptiness does not mean nothing exists. It means that nothing exists independently, separate from all else. Everything is connected, without fixed borders. A flower is not just a flower. It is the soil, the rain, the sunlight, the bee that visits, the air that carries its scent. Remove one of these, and the flower would not be. We, too, are like this. Your life is not isolated. It is woven from countless threads. The people who have touched you, the food you eat, the air you breathe, the memories you carry. Reflection. When you see that nothing exists on its own, you begin to trust the universe in a deeper way. You realize you are supported by an invisible web of connection, and that even when you feel alone, you are part of something vast and unbroken. The worries that say, "I must do everything alone," begin to fade. You understand that the river flows not because it forces itself forward, but because of the gravity, the water cycle, the clouds, the rain, the entire living system. You are not separate from that system. You are the system. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. Imagine looking at your own hand. See the skin, the lines, the shape of your fingers. Now, imagine everything that had to happen for this hand to be here. The food you've eaten, the parents who gave you life, the earth that nourished every plant and animal that has sustained you. Feel yourself expand into that web. See the thread stretching outward from you to the trees, to the oceans, to the stars. There are no walls. There is no me and them. Only one great unfolding. Breathe in, breathe out, whisper to yourself, "I am not separate. I am held by all things. The universe and I are the same flow. Rest in the stillness of the pond." Chapter 13. Right effort. A young monk once asked his teacher, "Master, if I am to trust the universe, should I stop trying altogether?" The master led him to a small garden behind the monastery. There, he pointed to a row of young plants. "See these?" he said. "They grow because the soil is good, the rain falls, and the sun shines. But they also grow because I water them." The monk nodded slowly. "If I try to pull them upward with my hands," the master continued, "I will only break them, but if I do nothing at all, they will wither." He smiled and handed the monk a watering can. This is right effort. We give what is needed, no more, no less, and we trust the rest to life. Reflection. Right effort, one of the steps on the Buddhist Eightfold Path, is about using your energy in ways that support life rather than exhaust it. It's not forcing outcomes. It's not giving up either. It's working with the natural flow instead of against it. When you trust the universe, you don't stop showing up. You show up with gentleness, patience, and focus, knowing that the harvest is not yours to command. Right effort is the middle ground between obsession and neglect. It's the balance point where your action and the universe's unfolding meet in harmony. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself in a quiet garden. Rows of young green plants stretch before you, their leaves trembling slightly in the breeze. You kneel and water them slowly, not too much, not too little. You remove a few weeds, your hands moving without rush. The sun warms your back, and the earth smells rich and alive. You know these plants will grow in their own time. Your job is simply to care for them today. Breathe in, breathe out, whisper to yourself, "I give my effort with balance. I release the need to force the outcome. I trust the universe to grow what I have planted." Stay in the garden for a few breaths more. Chapter 14. The Middle Way. Long ago, before he became the Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama sought enlightenment with great intensity. He left his palace, gave up all wealth, and lived as an ascetic in the forest. He ate almost nothing, sometimes a single grain of rice a day. He meditated for hours without moving, his body weak and trembling. One day, as he sat by the river, he overheard a music teacher speaking to a student on the opposite bank. If the string is too tight, it will break. If it is too loose, it will not play. Only when it is tuned just right will it sing. Siddhartha understood. His path had been too extreme, first in luxury, then in deprivation. True peace, he saw, came from balance. This became the middle way, a life between indulgence and denial, where harmony could take root. Reflection. Trusting the universe does not mean swinging wildly between extremes. It means walking the steady path between them. If you try to control everything, you tighten the string until it snaps. If you abandon all responsibility, you let it hang loose and silent. The middle way is where trust lives, where you do what you can and let the rest unfold. It's the place where discipline and ease, effort and rest, action and stillness meet. When you live here, you stop burning yourself out in the name of progress, and you stop drifting aimlessly in the name of surrender. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. Imagine holding a simple wooden instrument in your hands. You turn the pegs, feeling the tension in each string. One string is too tight, you loosen it until it relaxes. Another is too loose, you tighten it until it hums with readiness. You strum once, the sound is warm, clear, alive. In your heart, feel that same tuning, not too much, not too little, just enough. Breathe in, breathe out, whisper to yourself, I walk the path of balance. I trust the universe to guide me between extremes. Here, in the middle, I find peace. Let the note fade into the quiet around you. Chapter 15. Into Being. The Vietnamese Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh often used a simple piece of paper to explain a great truth. He would hold up the sheet and say, if you look deeply into this paper, you will see the cloud. Without the cloud, there would be no rain. Without rain, no trees. Without trees, no pulp. Without pulp, no paper. The cloud is in this paper. He would pause and add, you will also see the sunshine. Without the sun, the trees could not grow. Without the logger, the mill, the people who made the ink, none of this could be here. This paper contains the whole universe. This is into being, the understanding that everything exists in relationship with everything else. Nothing stands alone. When you drink tea, you are drinking the cloud, the rain, the soil, the hands that pick the leaves, the fire that heated the water. When you breathe, you are sharing the same air that passed through the trees and the lungs of countless beings before you. Reflection. Trusting the universe becomes easier when you understand that you are never separate from it. You are not a lone traveller hoping the road will be kind. You are the road. You are the cloud in the paper, the rain in the tea, the breath in the wind. When you see yourself in all things, and all things in yourself, you stop asking, will the universe support me? Instead, you know the universe is me. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. Imagine holding a single leaf in your hand. See the veins running through it, carrying water and sunlight. Now, look deeper. See the rain that fed it, falling from a cloud. See the earth beneath it, rich with minerals from stones that have been here for millions of years. See the sun that warmed it, light travelling across the emptiness of space. Feel all of this in your own body, the water, the earth, the warmth, the breath. Breathe in, breathe out, whisper to yourself, I am part of everything. Everything is part of me. The universe and I are not two. Let the leaf rest gently in your palm, knowing it contains the whole world. Chapter 16. Compassion as Surrender. In a small monastery, a young monk asked his teacher, Master, I understand letting go. I understand balance. But how do I trust the universe when people can be unkind? The master poured 2 cups of tea. He placed one in front of the student and said, "When you hold resentment, you are holding a cup of poison, hoping the other will drink it. When you choose compassion, you pour that poison out, not for them, but for you." He paused and added, "Compassion is not weakness. It is the strength to meet pain without becoming it. Compassion in Buddhism is not about condoning harmful actions. It is about seeing that the person who harms is also caught in their own suffering. They act out of fear, ignorance, or pain, and you can choose not to add your own anger to the world's weight. When you trust the universe, you see that compassion is not just kindness to others, it is alignment with the flow of life itself. It is the act of saying, "I do not need to harden to survive." Reflection: to live with compassion is to surrender the armor that blocks your own peace. It is choosing openness in a world that often rewards closing. It is saying to the universe, "I trust you enough to keep my heart open, even here." And when you live this way, you notice something. Life meets your openness with its own quiet care. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. Imagine someone who has caused you pain standing before you. Notice how your body feels when you think of them. The tension in your chest, the weight in your stomach. Now, imagine holding a cup in your hands. This cup is filled with the bitterness you've carried toward them. Slowly, you tilt it and pour it into the earth. The ground absorbs it. Your hands are empty now. You place them over your heart and whisper, "I release this weight. I meet life with compassion. I trust the universe to hold the rest." Feel the space in your chest expand as the burden dissolves. Chapter 17. Floating on the river at night. The day has ended. The sky above is deep and quiet, holding a scattering of stars. You stand at the edge of a wide, slow-moving river. The water glimmers faintly under the moonlight, silver ribbons weaving into the darkness. A small wooden boat waits for you at the shore. You step in, feeling the gentle rock beneath your feet. The rope that held it is untied, and the current begins to carry you. There is no paddle, no need for one. The boat drifts. The air is cool on your face. You hear only the steady whisper of the water and the occasional rustle of leaves along the bank. You look up. The stars are bright, yet far away. The moon's reflection shimmers on the river's surface, breaking softly with each ripple. Reflection. Trusting the universe feels like this. There is no need to strain against the current, no urgency to reach the shore. The river knows where it is going. Your task is only to be present, to breathe, and to let yourself be carried. Life often feels like it demands constant steering, constant effort. But when you truly trust, you understand that many of the best journeys happen when you release the oars. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes fully now. Feel yourself lying back in the boat, your head resting against the wooden side. The night air touches your skin like a gentle hand. The water cradles you steady, patient, certain of its own path. Breathe in, breathe out. Let your body grow heavier against the boat, as if it could melt into it. Whisper to yourself, "I am carried. I let go of control. I trust the current of the universe to guide me." The river flows on, and you are at peace. Chapter 18. Sitting in a quiet bamboo grove. You step off the path and find yourself surrounded by tall bamboo. The stalks rise high above you, their green skin smooth and cool in the soft light. The air here is different. It feels calm, almost hushed, as if the world outside cannot reach you. A light breeze moves through the grove. The bamboo sways gently, and with each movement comes a soft, hollow clack as stalk touches stalk. It's a rhythm that feels older than words, a sound that seems to belong to the earth itself. You sit down on the ground. The soil is firm but welcoming beneath you. Above, sunlight filters through the leaves in shifting patterns, painting your skin with golden shadow. A faint scent of earth and green life fills the air. You breathe it in slowly, letting it settle inside you. Reflection. Trusting the universe is like sitting in this grove. There's no need to rush anywhere. No need to demand that the bamboo grow faster or the wind blow a certain way. Everything around you is already in its perfect rhythm. When you stop pushing, you start noticing. When you stop trying to arrange life like a puzzle, you realize the pieces have already fallen into place. The bamboo does not struggle to be the oak, nor the oak to be the bamboo. They simply are what they are, and in that, they are complete. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes now. Feel the bamboo around you, tall and steady, yet flexible with every passing breeze. Notice how the sunlight shifts with the wind, how the patterns on your skin change without effort on your part. Breathe in, breathe out, whisper to yourself, I am rooted and flexible. I trust the universe's timing. I am in harmony with the rhythm of life. Stay in the grove as long as you like. The wind will carry your trust outward with every sway of the bamboo. Chapter 19. Walking a mountain path in the early mist. The first light of dawn is soft, barely touching the horizon. You stand at the base of a mountain path, and a fine mist wraps around everything like a veil. The air is cool and damp, carrying the faint scent of pine and wet earth. You take your first step. The ground beneath your feet is uneven but firm, each stone and root reminding you to walk slowly. The mist swirls gently as you move, revealing glimpses of the path ahead but never the whole way. Birdsong echoes faintly in the distance, their calls softened by the fog. Somewhere higher up, a stream murmurs over rocks, its sound weaving into the quiet morning. You breathe in deeply. The air feels clean, untouched, as though it's been waiting for you. Reflection. Trusting the universe is like walking this mountain path in the mist. You don't need to see the summit to keep going. The way reveals itself step by step, and each step is enough. So often, we want the full map, the complete picture before we begin. But life does not work this way. The mist clears only as you move forward, and what you need to know will come exactly when you need it. Faith is not standing still and waiting for perfect clarity. Faith is walking into the mist, knowing the path will appear under your feet. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. Imagine the cool air of the mountain morning brushing your face. With each breath, feel the mist around you soft, refreshing, alive. You take one slow step, then another. You don't rush. You trust. Breathe in, breathe out, whisper to yourself, I walk forward without needing to see it all. I trust the path will reveal itself to me. Each step is enough. Keep walking and let the mountain guide you. Chapter 20. Watching lotus flowers bloom in slow motion. You sit by the edge of a still pond. The water is dark and calm, holding the sky like a mirror. Beneath the surface, long green stems rise from the mud at the bottom, reaching toward the light. Slowly, so slowly you might miss it if you weren't watching a lotus bud begins to open. Its petals, still touched with dew, unfurl in the morning sun. First one, then another. The bloom grows wider, revealing its golden heart. All around the pond, other buds wait, each in its own stage. Some are still closed tight. Some are halfway open, and none of them are rushing. Reflection. Trusting the universe is understanding that everything blooms in its own season. The lotus does not open because someone pulls at its petals. It opens when the sun has warmed it enough, when the night's dew has lifted, when the time is simply right. We often try to force life to open faster, to make relationships, opportunities, or healing arrive on our schedule. But the truth is, each thing in your life has its own timing, and forcing it only damages the petals. The lotus teaches us patience. It reminds us that beauty is not diminished by waiting sometimes, it is born from it. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. Picture a lotus bud in front of you, resting on the still water. Its green casing holds tightly around the petals. You wait, you breathe. The sun rises higher, warming the pond. The petals loosen, and slowly, Gracefully, the flower opens. Its colors are soft yet radiant, its center glowing with quiet life. Breathe in, breathe out, whisper to yourself, I bloom in my own time. I trust the universe's seasons for my life. Nothing that is mine will come too soon or too late. Let the lotus remain in your mind, a reminder of patience in every breath. Chapter 21. Lying under an endless night sky. You find yourself on a gentle hillside, the grass cool beneath your back. Above you stretches a sky so wide it feels like it could swallow every worry you've ever had. The air is crisp, holding the faint scent of earth and distant rain. The stars are endless. Some burn bright and close, others faint and far, yet all of them are part of one great pattern, even if your eyes can't see it from here. A pale ribbon of light, the Milky Way, cuts across the darkness, a silent river of stars flowing through infinity. The moon is high, casting a soft silver glow over the land. Its light touches your face, your hands, the tops of the hills, the edges of the trees. Everything is bathed in the same gentle radiance. Reflection. Trusting the universe is easier when you remember its scale. The same forces that move the planets, that spin the galaxies, that pull the tides, are at work in your life too. From here, your worries look small, not because they don't matter, but because they are part of something far greater than they appear in your mind. Just as the stars hold their places in the sky without rushing or forcing, you too can trust your place in the grand design. The night sky reminds you, you are not adrift, you are part of an ancient order, moving exactly as you should. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. Feel the earth beneath you steady, unshaken. Imagine every muscle in your body melting into the ground, as if the planet itself were holding you. Look up in your mind's eye and see the stars scattered above you. You are not separate from them. The same elements that form their light live inside your bones and blood. Breathe in, breathe out, whisper to yourself, I am part of the universe's design. I trust its rhythm and timing. I am exactly where I need to be. Stay under the sky for as long as you wish. Chapter 22. Becoming one with the ocean tide. You stand barefoot at the edge of the shore. The sand is cool beneath your feet, firm where the waves have pressed it smooth. Before you, the ocean stretches beyond sight, a breathing expanse of blue and silver. A wave rushes in, foaming white at its crest, curling gently around your ankles before retreating back into the depths. Another comes, and another, each one different, yet each one part of the same eternal rhythm. You step forward, letting the water rise higher, the salt brushing your skin, the sound filling your ears with a steady hush that seems to dissolve thought. Far out, you can see the rolling swells, each one a promise that the tide will never stop its dance. Reflection. Trusting the universe is like trusting the tide. You don't demand that it come in faster. You don't argue when it recedes. You know it will return because it always has and always will. In life, there are moments when blessings rush toward you like the incoming tide, and moments when they seem to pull away, leaving you standing on bare sand. But even in retreat, the water is gathering strength to return. The tide teaches us patience. It teaches us that loss and gain, arrival and departure, are simply two parts of the same breathing cycle. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes. Feel the pull of the tide around your feet, the gentle push forward, the soft pull back. Each movement is deliberate, ancient, certain. With each inhale, imagine the tide flowing in. With each exhale, imagine it flowing out. You do not resist. You do not cling. You simply move with it. Whisper to yourself, I move with the tide of life. I trust what comes and what goes. I am part of the ocean's eternal rhythm. Let the waves carry your trust out to sea and return it to you, renewed. Chapter 23. Affirmations for trust. Settle in. Feel your body supported. Let each breath be slower than the last. I will speak these affirmations softly, and you may repeat them silently in your mind, or simply let them wash over you like waves on the shore. There is no effort here, only receiving. I trust the timing of my life. In every season, in every change, I know the universe moves with wisdom. I let go of control. I allow life to unfold without forcing it into my shape. I am open to the unknown. What I cannot see may hold blessings I cannot yet imagine. I walk with patience. Each step is enough. The path will reveal itself in time. I am supported by all things. I am not separate to the universe, and I move as one. I release what is not mine. I no longer carry what belongs to the past or to others. I am carried. Like a river carries a leaf, the current of life carries me toward what is meant for me. I bloom in my own time. Nothing arrives too soon or too late. I am at peace with change. Every ending carries the seed of a beginning. I trust the universe completely, even now, especially now. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes fully. With each breath, let these words sink deeper. Feel them like roots growing in the soil of your mind, steady and unseen. You are safe to release. You are safe to trust. Breathe in, breathe out, whisper to yourself, I am exactly where I need to be. Let the stillness hold you. Chapter 24. Closing blessing. Trust as a way of life. You have walked through stories of farmers and rivers, monks and mountains, tides and lotus flowers. Each one has been a mirror, showing you a truth the universe has always known. You are never separate from its flow. Trust is not something you practice only when things are going well. It is the quiet choice you make in the middle of uncertainty, the steady breath you take when the mist hides the path, the gentle hands you offer when it is time to let go. The farmer taught you not to judge too soon. The empty boat showed you how to release what is not yours. The river taught you to move around obstacles. The lotus showed you the beauty of patience. The night sky reminded you of your place in the vast design. And in all of this, the same lesson has echoed. Life knows what it is doing. Reflection. When you trust the universe, you do not stop living, loving, or striving. You simply stop fighting the current that carries you toward your own ocean. Trust is not blind, it sees the whole picture, even when your eyes cannot. It rests in the knowing that every rock, every branch, every still pond and roaring wave has its place. This is not the end of your journey. It is the reminder that the journey itself is the destination. Meditative visualization. Close your eyes and imagine yourself standing once more at the edge of the river from the very beginning of this hour. The current is steady, the air is calm. You step in, the water cool against your skin, and let it carry you. There is no hurry, there is nowhere else to be. Breathe in, breathe out, whisper to yourself, I am part of the flow. I trust the universe in all things. I am exactly where I am meant to be. Let the current hold you until you feel lighter than thought. Chapter 25. Final sleep induction. Rest in the river. The river is calm now. Its surface glimmers faintly beneath the moon, the soft light stretching into silver threads across the water. The air is cool, carrying the faint scent of wet stone and distant rain. You are lying back in a small wooden boat. The wood is warm beneath you, holding your weight without strain. The gentle rocking of the water is steady, like the heartbeat of the earth itself. Overhead, the stars are scattered like lanterns in the dark, each one a silent witness to the passage of time. They have watched countless rivers flow, countless lives unfold, and still they shine unhurried, unafraid. The current moves, but so softly that you cannot feel where it begins or where it ends. It simply carries you, the way the universe has been carrying you all along. Reflection. This is what it means to trust. To stop forcing the oars forward, to stop fighting the water. To understand that even now, especially now, you are being guided. Every breath you take is part of this current. Every heartbeat, a ripple in the great ocean of life. You are not separate from this river. You are the river. Meditative sleep induction. Let your body sink deeper into the boat. Feel your shoulders drop, your hands resting loosely at your sides. The muscles in your face soften. Your jaw unclenches. Your breath is slow, steady, quiet. With each inhale, imagine the boat lifting slightly with the current. With each exhale, imagine it gliding forward, smooth and effortless. There is no destination to reach. You are already home. Breathe in, breathe out, whisper to yourself, or simply listen in your mind. I am safe. I am carried. I trust the universe completely. The stars above blur softly. The moon's light becomes gentle and far. The only sound left is the quiet rhythm of water against wood and the steady beating of your own heart. You are floating, drifting, resting in the eternal river. And now you can sleep.